Hi everyone, I thought I'd do a quick video about my tractor here. I can't find any information on it on the internet and I don't have a service manual, so I thought I'll do this and hopefully it can help someone else out in the future. So my tractor is an Iseki. It's a TU170, small compact tractor, and the problem I have with it today is I have a leaky gearbox seal. So some grass went up into my drive shaft, wrapped itself around the drive shaft and forced itself into the seal and destroyed it. So it's leaking transmission oil. So I'm going to take the seal out and replace it. So let's have a look and we'll go from there. Okay, so what happened is I was slashing some grass in one of my paddocks and the grass was just way too long really, and I reversed for a while and I assume that's what's happened. So the grass underneath the tractor here, this is all open, and I have a drive shaft here that goes to the front wheels because it's a four-wheel drive model. Grass wrapped around this universal joint and forced itself up in underneath the this seal here that's part of the gearbox. So I have to get the seal out and put a new one in. I don't know the part number of the seal either, so once I have it out I'm going to have to match it up somehow. We'll deal with that later, but for now I'm going to try and take off this uni joint. Hopefully it looks like it's held in with some roll pins. I'll punch the roll pins out and slide it down on this spline that way. Hopefully it'll come off the back spline enough for me to drop it out and then drop the front out, and it'll just leave a little short shaft there that I can get the seal off. So yeah, I've already drained the gearbox, so there's no more oil in the gearbox. I'll go through that with you a bit later when we fill the gearbox back up. But so there's no oil in the gearbox at the moment. That's the drain plug just here. Yeah, so we're fine to start to try and remove this seal. See how we go. Okay, so here's the roll pin. So that goes all the way through this universal joint, through the shaft and out the other side. So I've got my pin punch. I'm going to punch that out. You can still see a bit of the grass sitting there between the seal and the shaft, so that's our problem. Okay. Alright, so it's starting to go. You can see it pushing up in there. Just keep going all the way. I might actually just mark it with texter before I take it out so I know which way it goes back on the splines. So I'll just do that. Okay, so I've just put a little bit of paint marker on here. You can see, so later when I reinstall it, I know which spline the universal joint goes back onto, so the pin lines up. I've done it for the front also and marked which way this where the front of the tractor is for the correct one. So yeah, it started to move, so I'll just keep going, tap it all the way through. I can feel it, and there it is. Let's have a look at that. Hopefully you can see the roll pin. So now I'll roll the tractor by hand to expose this pin. The tractor's on a nice flat surface at the moment, so it's not going to roll away. So as the front wheels are rolling, it's turning this shaft by itself, giving me access to this pin. Alright, so that's the next pin I need to get out. Let's do that. Again, it's the same pin punch. I don't know if you can see that. just going to roll it around a bit because it's a bit of an angle. It's a bit better for me to get a swing on it, on the hammer. It's not going yet. Come on. Ouch. Alright, it started to move now. See, it's starting to go up through the assembly. Ow. There we go. And it's out. Alright, there's our second roll pin. Looks the same. So now I'm going to try and slide this universal joint down on this spline a bit further so it comes off this one. Probably hasn't moved ever. Might get a block of wood. We'll get a block of wood on there and give it a tap and hopefully it'll slide. Okay, so I've got a bit of wood. I'm just going to rest it on the universal joint and just give it a tap. Hopefully we'll see it slide down this spline here. And okay, so it looks like that this shaft is going down as well as going down this. We're nearly off the gearbox spline, so I don't know where the shaft is disappearing to, but we'll just keep going. Just tapping lightly. And there we go. So that should come out of the way. Yeah, this whole thing does, I don't know what that's about, but anyway, it's off. So now I can try and get this seal off here and it'll slide off. How do we do that? Well, we'll set up and I'll show you. Okay, so here we've got the seal with the grass. So to get the seal out, I'm going to put a screw in through the rubber. I'm going to be right in between the shaft and the cover here. I don't want to scratch either one of those. I just want to put the screw through the seal just a bit, and then we'll grab the screw and pull on the screw, and hopefully that'll pull the seal with it. So to get a screw into it, I want to put a little pilot hole through the rubber. I don't want to touch the drill bit on either the shaft or the aluminium cover. So. Okay, it's not going through. Change the speed. Try again. Alright, that popped through. So now I've got a pilot hole just a screw I found in my toolbox, one with a nice coarse thread. So I'll put that in the hole I just drilled. If I can find it. Okay, it's going in. Alright, that's through. I don't want to go too far and hit anything in there. So now the screw is in the seal only. Hopefully, I'm gonna grab something, grab that and pull on it, and hopefully it pops the seal out. Okay, so I've got some cutters. I'm just gonna lever from underneath the screw head on the gearbox. Hopefully pull it out. Just like that. Can you see all the grass in there? Have a look, Will. There's still grass. I can see the bearing. It's grass bloody. Too much grass. Alright. Put that off. Yep. Alright, I've got to clean all that out now. Okay, so there we have the bearing. You can see all this green. That is grass. I want to try and get that out of there as best I can. I don't want to use an air gun or anything like that, because I don't want to blow the grass into the gearbox and through that bearing. I want to pull it out. So I'm going to I'll probably get just a little screwdriver. I got my pointy nose pliers, but I don't think I'll be able to get in there with that. I'll get a small screwy and just sort of pick at it and just take my time and get it out of there. Okay, so I've got a little screwdriver. I'm going to clean the grass out, but while I'm looking at it, this is just sitting here and it's wobbly, the drive shaft that goes to the front diff. If I follow it down, I wobble the whole thing. It's just loose here on the front diff, so I think I'm going to undo this nut, see if it just pulls off and comes out of the way. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't think there's any oil in there. I think it's just a cover. Yeah, it's loose. If there was oil in it, it would have leaked out. So I don't know what's going on. Whole lot of nothing. Okay. Whole lot of nothing. I think I'll pull this up out of the way, then that'll slide. This might just come out there. There we go. Alright, so we can get the whole drive shaft out. Like that. Well, that makes it easier. Do that first before you try and get the seal out, because now there's a heap of room. Okay. So, pulling the grass towards me. It's just a slow process. Not going to rush it and scratch anything, because once it's scratched you can't recover from that. Right, I think I got the mother load. Oh, well, that's satisfying. Yeah, that's what we want. All came out in a great big blob. All right. Yep. Okay, it's 10 minutes later. We've cleaned the grass out as best we can. I can't see any more in there. The bearing looks nice and clean behind it, so I'm not going to push my luck and stuff something up. I'll leave it like that. I'm going to go away now and find a seal and come back and assemble it, and we will go from there. Okay, so I'm going to take the screw out of the seal now. Hopefully on the seal that there are some numbers or some way we can identify what it is, so I can buy another one. We are in Australia and it's extremely hard to get parts for Isekis here, so I'm not going to hold my breath. Hopefully I can just get an equivalent seal down at a local bearings place. Just clean it up a bit. Now hopefully on the top here, there are some numbers. And there are. See where I put the screw? Right beside it, that's the end of the number. So I've destroyed the numbers I need to identify this seal. So sometimes luck doesn't go your way, but doesn't matter. I'm going to go down to the local shops here and we'll measure the diameter, the outer diameter, the inner diameter, and also the thickness of the seal, and I'll just buy the equivalent automotive seal for it. It'll be fine. Okay, just quickly, there's a couple of other issues that I have with the tractor here that we'll probably do another video or two on. One of them is a sticky accelerator cable. So when we hit the accelerator, the cable here goes down to our I don't know, lever that goes into the engine and performs acceleration. So if I push down on the accelerator and release the accelerator, it's not going back. It's just sticky. So we're going to address that. And another thing is changing the hydraulic fluid and the hydraulic screen that goes to the pump for the 3-point linkage. My hydraulics stopped working, so I have fixed it now, but I'll go through with you what the problem was and hopefully it might fix an issue for you. Stay tuned.